Israel bombarded the Hamas-ruled Gaza Strip with about 300 airstrikes Saturday and shot down a Palestinian rocket fired at Tel Aviv, the military said, widening a blistering assault to include the Hamas Prime Minister's headquarters, the police compound and a vast network of smuggling tunnels. The intensified airstrikes came as Egyptian-led attempts to broker a ceasefire and end Israel's 4-day-old Gaza offensive gained momentum. The leaders of Hamas and two key allies, Qatar and Turkey, were in Cairo for talks with Egyptian officials, and the Arab League was holding an emergency meeting. The White House said President Barack Obama was also in touch with the Egyptian and Turkish leaders. The U.S. has solidly backed Israel so far. Speaking on Air Force One, Deputy National Security Advisor Ben Rhodes said that the White House believes Israel has the right to defend itself against attack and that the Israelis will make their own decisions about their military tactics and operations. The Israeli attacks, which Gaza officials say left 12 dead, came as Palestinian militants fired more than 100 rockets toward Israel, including two aimed at the commercial and cultural center of Tel Aviv. Rocket attacks on Tel Aviv and Jerusalem this week mark the first time Gaza militants have managed to fire rockets toward the cities, raising the stakes in the confrontation. The widened scope of targets brings the scale of fighting closer to that of the war the two groups waged 4 years ago. Hamas was badly bruised during that conflict, but has since restocked its arsenal with more and better weapons, and has been under pressure from smaller, more militant groups to prove its commitment to fighting Israel. Militants have unleashed some 500 rockets against the Jewish state. Correspondent Talent Z reports that, despite vague talk of a ceasefire, Hamas managed to hit a southern Israeli city with 4 rockets, and retaliation continued unabated. The massive explosion rocked the Gaza City soccer stadium this morning, and speculation was that the target was a rocket launching site. The Israeli bombing campaign expanded into other areas and included the government infrastructure. The cabinet headquarters was flattened. There were reports of civilians among the casualties. At least half of the Palestinians killed in the conflict so far have been civilians, including at least 8 children and a pregnant woman. In a psychological boost for the Israelis, a sophisticated Israeli rocket defense system known as Iron Dome knocked down one of the rockets headed toward Tel Aviv, eliciting cheers from relieved residents huddled in fear after air raid sirens sounded in the city. The Associated Press video showed a plume of smoke rising from a rocket defense battery deployed near the city, followed by a burst of light overhead. The smoke trailed the intercepting missile. Police said the second rocket also targeted Tel Aviv. It was not clear where it landed or whether it was shot down. No injuries were reported. It was the 3rd straight day the city was targeted. Israel says the Iron Dome system has shot down some 250 incoming rockets, most of them in southern Israel near Gaza. Saturday's interception was the first time Iron Dome has been deployed in Tel Aviv.